Well, as the U.S. migrant crisis escalates, the Republicans have rallied against the Biden administration's handling of the situation. They have demanded a government crackdown to choke the flow of migrants to the country's borders. In the latest, the Republicans have warned of starving the federal government of funds if President Joe Biden fails to get to the core of the migrant crisis. The warning by Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson comes on the heels of his visit to the affected borders. The Speaker, along with 60 Republicans, visited the U.S.-Mexico border to build pressure on the Biden administration. Braving icy climate conditions, navigating through a barbed wire fence, migrants from Mexico have waded through the Rio Bravo River to surrender to U.S. authorities. They are seeking entry into the country. People carried their bags and even children on their shoulders to cross the river. They were also seen negotiating with officers near the fence. In one instance, migrants were seen climbing over barbed wires and rushing towards the border wall. Hundreds of migrants have tried to cross over following the events. An additional barbed wire was installed along the river bank. A large number of migrants are continuing their perilous journey to the United States via Mexico. Many people making the trek are living under tough conditions. The number of migrant encounters in the southwestern United States hit record numbers last month. Our correspondent Susan Tehrani gets us the latest highlights on this.
The visit to the southern border by the House Speaker and scores of Republicans come as the GOP is putting increased pressure on the Biden administration for stricter immigration and border policies. Republicans and Democrats remain divided on how serious the border crisis really is. GOP lawmakers are going into the 2024 presidential elections with a focus on the border. And that's because in a recent surveys, when Republican voters were asked how serious the issue of the border crisis is, they said it was very serious, and they wanted to see the next administration and the White House put a focus on the border and illegal migration, while the Democrats responded in the same survey saying that they hope the GOP would reach across the aisle and work on inflation and the economy. One area that both Democratic and Republican voters agreed on was to allocate more resources to the U.S. southern border with Mexico, like increasing the number of border agents. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.